Now before the gold rush ends on July 4th.
So call 1-800-608-5819 or go to gold.com today. If you're selling, Cash for Gold is buying.
Welcome to World News. Tonight, firing back. The CIA director toe-to-toe with the speaker. He says Congress was told the truth about interrogations. Driven out. GM takes its turn cutting its dealer force. More than 1,000 will lose their franchises. Safe to fly? Serious new concerns about commuter airline safety now raised by the employees themselves. Katrina's class. Life lessons learned by the graduates who began college with that historic storm. And it's Friday, our person of the week, living with gorillas in order to save them.
From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson. Reporting tonight, George Stephanopoulos.
Good evening. When you ask the CIA about its work, the usual response is bland as can be. No comment. But today, the agency went on a very public mission, taking direct aim at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The speaker said yesterday that the CIA lied to Congress about whether it waterboarded terror suspects. Today, the CIA's director, Leon Panetta, a Democrat who once served in Congress with Speaker Pelosi, defended his new colleagues. The CIA told the truth, he wrote, and Panetta went one step further, accusing Pelosi of making political hay at his agency's expense. Jonathan Karl is in Washington tonight. Jonathan?
George, we are witnessing a war of words between the Speaker of the House and the Director of the Central Intelligence Agency.
CIA Director Leon Panetta is pushing back hard against the Speaker of the House. Let me be clear, it is not our policy or practice to mislead Congress, Panetta said in a letter to CIA employees. That is against our laws and our values. That's in response to Pelosi's direct accusation yesterday that the CIA lied to her about its waterboarding of al-Qaeda leader Abu Zubaydah.
Madam Speaker, just to be clear, you're accusing the CIA of lying to you in September of 2002.
Misleading the Congress of the United States.
At issue is what CIA officers told Pelosi during a highly classified briefing on September 4, 2002. The CIA says it told her about the waterboarding of Zubaydah. Pelosi says she was told just the opposite.
The only mention of waterboarding at that briefing was that it was not being employed.
Panetta, a former Democratic congressman, said, quote, our contemporaneous records from September 2002 indicate that CIA officers briefed truthfully. Republicans are rushing to the CIA's defense and attacking the speaker.
I think this is the most despicable, dishonest, and vicious political effort I've seen in my lifetime.
Pelosi has been one of the most outspoken critics of harsh interrogation tactics like waterboarding, but Republicans say that's hypocritical because she was one of the very few members of Congress told about the CIA's interrogation practices.
These interrogation techniques were shared with members of Congress who somehow can't remember what they're told.
Karl Rove has gone so far as to call Pelosi an accessory to a crime of torture. Meanwhile, the White House has made it clear the president would like the whole controversy to go away.
The best thing that we can do is to look forward.
The Speaker Pelosi is now doing some damage control, putting out a statement late today saying that she has great respect for the men and women of the intelligence agency and that, quote, my criticism of the manner in which the Bush administration did not appropriately inform Congress is separate from my respect for those in the intelligence community who work to keep our country safe. Now, George, it is important to point out that those who briefed Speaker Pelosi at that September briefing were career intelligence officers. These were not political operatives from the Bush administration.
This controversy is not ending. Jonathan Karl, thanks. Now to the White House, which announced another major decision today about how to conduct the war on terror. President Obama has decided that he will use military tribunals to try prisoners in Guantanamo. Jake Tapper joins us with more on that. And Jake, the president was very critical of how President Bush used these tribunals, and when he came into office, he suspended them. Why is he bringing them back?
Well, for one basic reason, there are detainees he wants to bring to justice, and there's no other way, in their view, of doing so. They don't believe that these detainees should get the same rights afforded a U.S. citizen in a criminal court, and they don't think that in many cases the evidence would withstand the scrutiny of a U.S. criminal court, or for that matter, a court-martial.
But the president is proposing big changes in how the tribunals are going to work.
That's exactly right. There are a number of changes. The three biggest ones probably are, first of all, evidence obtained during any harsh interrogations or torture would not be admissible. There will be new limits on hearsay testimony, and detainees will not have it count against them if they refuse to testify.
And Jake, after the president's reversal on whether to release these photos of interrogations this week, the White House seems especially sensitive to the charge of flip-flopping on this issue.
That's exactly right. But if you go back to the debate when the Senate was forming these commissions in 2006, then Senator Obama actually voted for military commissions. He voted for a bill drafted by John McCain. He opposed the way that Bush and the Bush White House wanted to do it, but he was never opposed per se to military commissions.
Jake Tapper at the White House, thank you.
Thank you.
There was some tough economic news today. General Motors took its turn to trim its dealer network. The company sent letters to 1,100 dealers telling them that their franchise agreements won't be renewed. That represents 18% of GM's dealers, but hundreds of those being closed sell fewer than 35 cars a year. Chris Bury joins us tonight.
Good evening, George. For this GM dealer outside of Chicago and thousands of others across the country, it has been a nail-biting, nerve-wracking day. At Rose Buick Pontiac near Albany, New York, the axe fell.
As a small-town person, it's like the worst news you can get short of bad health.
At Team Chevrolet in Smyrna, Tennessee, the dreaded notice arrived.
We have struggled, and it's been difficult for us, but we're able to keep it together.
For Desmond Roberts and his employees at Advantage Chevrolet near Chicago, it was the letter that did not arrive that made their day.
We thought, hallelujah, we're saved. Our business can continue.
The impact reaches beyond the dealers to the communities that rely on them for Little League and Scouts and charities.
You can't replace it. And so that's part of the tragedy of this reduction of dealers. 1,100, you take them out?
In a conference call, GM defended the cuts.
Too many dealers, in actuality, aren't a problem. We got too little industry right now and too little sales that we have to contend with.
GM wants a dealer network more like Toyota's. For example, Chevrolet and Toyota sell about the same number of cars in this country, but Chevrolet has 3 times as many dealerships. Only the biggest, most profitable ones will survive.
More profitable dealerships have the resources to invest in facilities, people, and advertising, and everything it takes to take care of the customer.
Unlike those cut by Chrysler, the GM dealers have 30 days to appeal.
How you doing?
Some are already lawyering up for a court fight.
You're talking about billions of dollars, and you're talking about people that have made this their lifelong business.
Didn't we apply money to this already?
Even today's survivors fear they too remain vulnerable.
Our fear is that if GM is forced into bankruptcy, then all bets are off.
In addition to the 1,100 cut today, GM plans to trim 1,200 more dealers as it sheds Saturn, Saab, Pontiac, and Hummer. So the pain continues. George.
Thanks, Chris. There were some anxious moments in space today as the astronauts conducted the most important and delicate spacewalk of their mission. Working in often cramped conditions, they restored the guidance system for the Hubble telescope. It took much longer than expected, nearly 8 hours. But as Ned Potter reports, it was time well spent.
Today came proof that spacewalking is not easy.
Colonel Good, welcome to the wonderful world of working in a vacuum.
Mike Massimino and Mike Good had the delicate job of replacing 6 gyroscopes, which keep the Hubble pointed at the stars or galaxies it photographs with such remarkable results. The gyroscopes are precise enough that the Hubble could focus on a penny orbiting 200 miles away.
Okay, once you retrieve your tether, down to the soap.
But 5 of the 6 gyros have broken down in the last few years.
Okay, don't move. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to get it around this. Wait. Don't smack it yet.
To make matters worse, the gyros are deep inside the telescope.
You ready for the roll? Hold on one. Watch your right foot by the RSU. It's clear. Okay.
So Massimino had to wedge himself between other parts, guided by his partner.
Yeah, Mike, I got it. All yours. Very nice.
This is why they practiced for years. Mike Good joked that in a 300-pound spacesuit, you feel as if your IQ drops by 20 points. Massimino said bumping into things is not a good idea.
But I've just got to be really careful where I put my eyes. I can't hit the star tracker that's right in front of me.
Massimino is a spacewalking veteran. Good is a rookie. He told us before the flight of seeing the Hubble as a star orbiting overhead in the night sky.
It was cool showing the folks we were with this telescope screaming across the sky at 17,500 miles an hour. And then I pictured myself in a few months hanging on to that.
Even at orbital speed, the astronauts had to work very slowly. To unwind, NASA said they can sleep an extra hour in the morning before they start their next spacewalk. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
And speaking of space, take a look at this picture. That tiny speck passing before the sun is the shuttle. What a stunning reminder of just how small even big things can seem in outer space. Still ahead on World News, airline insiders worried sick about safety. Regional pilots tell us stories of a grueling life on the job. 4 years after their lives changed forever, the class of Katrina graduates. And the woman who puts her own life at risk to help save majestic endangered creatures. Our person of the week.
This is World News with Charles Gibson. Brought to you by the people of America's oil and natural gas industry.
It's clear we need more energy from all sources. And most Americans agree we need more domestic oil and natural gas. But does that mean you'll see more oil and gas platforms? Well, with advanced subsea technology, one platform can now gather oil from wells 40 miles away. So what used to take many just a few years ago now takes only one. That's more of the oil and natural gas we need from less than meets the eye. Log on to learn more.
This is the AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan card. You know what's great about this card? Wherever you go, nationwide, your coverage travels with you. And that's just one of the many reasons you need the card you can trust. Because with AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plans, you can apply year-round, talk with personal health insurance advisors, and so much more. If you're turning 65 or older, or you've already enrolled in a Medicare supplement plan, call for this free information kit and Medicare guide. These are the only Medicare supplement insurance plans exclusively endorsed by AARP. These plans, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company, help cover some of your medical expenses not covered by Medicare alone. This could save you thousands of dollars. Want your choice of doctors or hospitals, virtually no claim forms, and no referrals needed to see a specialist? Call for your free kit. Yep, this is one great card.
Can't stop weeding? Then apply Preen for gardens. In just one application, Preen prevents weeds for 3 months. Stop weeds with Preen. Preen works, so you don't have to.
Feeling back pain? Dr. Scholl's back pain relief orthotics with shock guard technology give you immediate relief that lasts all day long. Dr. Scholl's, pain relief is a step away.
We have reported extensively on the Colgan air crash in February that killed 50 people, and last night we clearly struck a nerve with a report on hearings which revealed that regional airline pilots work very long hours, often for very little pay. Lisa Stark, who covers the industry for us, got a slew of emails about safety problems at the airlines from the people who should know.
The tragic Buffalo crash has unleashed a firestorm of criticism about conditions and safety at the regional airlines. Tonight, that concern is being voiced to ABC News by insiders, by the pilots themselves. One writes, there will be another Colgan 3407 if regulations and work rules are not changed. There are signs every day. Pilots are flying tired, stressed, overworked, and underpaid. Another writes, experience is an issue. Quote, we have kids with as little as 200 hours being put right into the co-pilot's position on a 90-passenger jet airplane. Others wrote about being disciplined for refusing to fly fatigued, or worse. Quote, these are the types of choices we are often faced with. Fly an unsafe aircraft or be disciplined, even terminated. Former pilot Leonard Cobb writes some airlines are, quote, not fully training their crews. We asked him, is the industry safe?
It depends on the experience level of the crew that's in the cockpit that day. It depends on the fatigue level of the cockpit crew that day.
Cobb flew for a regional carrier for 7 years. He says starting pay is at the poverty level, schedules punishing, a dangerous combination.
if you can't afford a hotel room when you fly into your base on commuting, you sleep in the crew room, which you do not get adequate rest there.
We read some of the emails to an industry representative.
Would you agree that work rules need to be changed and regulations?
Should the FAA examine the work rules and determine that a change needs to be made, then absolutely, we will comply fully.
Michael Zadie wrote that he quit his regional pilot job after just 5 months because he felt conditions were unsafe.
They fall short on time and staffing. They fall short on maintenance and respect for the aircraft.
Who's to blame? Pilots say the government for weak rules, the unions for agreeing to them, the airlines for doing things on the cheap, and the flying public for demanding low fares, leaving the airlines with little profit. Everyone who wrote bemoaned one thing, that it took a horrific accident to bring these problems to light. Lisa Stark, ABC News, Washington.
You can read more of the message we received from pilots at our blog, The World Newser. That's at abcnews.com. Coming up, graduation for a college class like no other, the class of Katrina.
People we rely on in the morning can rely on Dulcolax laxative tablets overnight. So when people are counting on you, count on Dulcolax laxative tablets the night before. They give you predictable overnight relief to help get you feeling like yourself again in the morning. And they're gentle on your stomach because they're comfort coated. No wonder people who need to be somewhere in the morning take Dulcolax laxative tablets the night before. Dulcolax laxative tablets. Keep you moving.
Getting ready to plant? Chances are your soil is like this. Compacted, drained of nutrients. It'll hold your plants, but it'll also hold them back. The solution? Miracle-Gro garden soil. The perfect mix of rich organic ingredients and Miracle-Gro plant food. Just mix it in and turn bad soil into great soil. Helps plants grow twice as big. Instead of holding them back, they'll leap ahead. Miracle-Gro garden soil and new moisture control garden soil.
What's that smell? Take control of trash odors with Glad Odor Shield. Special technology embedded in the whole bag neutralizes odors. Your kitchen stays fresh. Glad Odor Shield. What smell? Now available in lemon scent.
I don't always let my bladder problems or the worry my pipes might leak compromise what I like to do. Like hunting for bargains, not always bathrooms. I take care with Vesicare.
Once daily Vesicare can help control your bladder muscle and is proven to reduce frequent sudden urges and leaks, day and night. If you have certain stomach or glaucoma problems or trouble emptying your bladder, do not take Vesicare. Tell your doctor right away if you have a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days. Vesicare may cause blurred vision, so take care while driving or doing unsafe tasks. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, and indigestion.
You deserve better than to always be compromised by urges and leaks. Ask your doctor today about taking care with Vesicare.
Everything that goes into Mrs. Dash, all those natural herbs and spices, is just as important as what doesn't. No salt, no MSG. Mrs. Dash. Salt-free, flavorful.
Sounds so outrageous. Ultimate Fighting Clubs in high school?
This is a blood choke.
It's violent, ferocious. No parent or teacher would ever allow this, right? Well, get ready for the ultimate surprise on World News with Charles Gibson, Monday.
Pope Benedict ended his week-long mission to the Middle East today at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. It's the place where Christians believe Jesus was buried and born again. The Pope wrapped up his mission with his strongest call yet for the creation of a Palestinian state and his strongest condemnation yet of the Holocaust, referring to Jews who were, quote, brutally exterminated under a godless regime. It's that time of year. At college campuses across the country this weekend, pomp and circumstance will play. Those bittersweet ceremonies will begin. And this commencement season is especially poignant in New Orleans. 4 years ago, the freshmen there had just arrived when disaster struck. ABC's Steve Osunsami on the class of Katrina.
Marina May Perez, Vincent Plantamira, Kathleen Elizabeth Rafferty.
At the 6 universities across New Orleans that were flooded during Hurricane Katrina.
Congratulations, graduates.
This is the graduating class that almost wasn't.
The one lesson that I've learned is to have faith.
They were wide-eyed freshmen 4 years ago who were forced to evacuate and then chose to return to a devastated city.
We eventually got out. We got a flight out. We were really lucky, but I had to come back.
When we first met Jennifer Golche, her school had been repaired and she was moving back in against her parents' wishes.
We can't just abandon it, you know?
Today, she's graduating from Tulane with a bachelor's in political science. She says she minored in real life.
I've evacuated from the worst storm our country's ever seen. There's something to be said for that. I've watched the destruction of the city and the rebuilding of the city.
Courtney Coffey had just registered for classes when we met her.
Oh, this is the new one. I just had faith that they were going to take the school and rebuild it.
Her mother was helping her move at the time. Her family lived in town. They've since given up on the city and moved away, and now she says her degree in cell and molecular biology is bittersweet.
I still get choked up every now and then. It's hard, not going 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away to my house to celebrate. The little things like that get to you sometimes.
So many of these graduates have told us that Katrina is still here across the city in neighborhoods that have never been rebuilt. They told us that Katrina will always be with them, and they sadly say goodbye to the residents of this city and wish them well. Steve Osunzami, ABC News, New Orleans.
And Olympic sensation Michael Phelps returned to competition today, taking to the water like Michael Phelps. Photographers were out in force at the ultra swim meet in North Carolina. Phelps is first since being suspended over that picture with a marijuana pipe. And Phelps followed up on his 8 gold medals just fine, cruising to the finals in 2 events. Up next, enduring danger and sacrifice in the wild to help save gorillas, our person of the week.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. 1 pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
Announcing the Ford Advantage Plan, a better plan to get you into a new, quality-built Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury. Today, while others say there's no credit available, Ford Credit says there is. Financing as low as 0% APR. Check for pre-approval now at Ford.com. And with the Ford Advantage, if you lose your paycheck, we'll make your payments for up to 12 months. Quality, credit, and payment protection. That's the Ford Advantage Plan. Visit your Ford or Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
While I was building my friendships, my family, while I was building my life, my high cholesterol was contributing to plaque buildup in my arteries. That's why my doctor prescribed Crestor. She said plaque buildup in arteries is a real reason to lower cholesterol, and that along with diet, Crestor does more than lower bad cholesterol. It raises good. Crestor is also proven to slow the buildup of plaque in arteries. Crestor isn't for everyone, like people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests will check for liver problems. You should tell your doctor about other medicines you are taking, or if you have muscle pain or weakness, that could be a sign of serious side effects. While you've been building your life, plaque may have been building in your arteries. Find out more about slowing the buildup of plaque at Crestor.com. Then ask your doctor if it's time for Crestor.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
This fiber, I'd had my fill. Then I found Miralax. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating, no excess gas, no taste, no grit. You'll see, it's clearly different.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
Introducing One-A-Day Women's 2O, the first complete women's multivitamin in a drink mix. With more calcium and vitamin D to support bone and breast health while helping you hydrate. One-A-Day Women's 2O, refreshingly healthy.
Still developing what led up to a crash that killed one local teen and put another in the hospital. KT's at the crash site right now.
And we're following changes in Oregon's economic future, the new economic forecast and how it impacts you. It's all just minutes away.
Sunday, the big debate, is the U.S. safer under Obama? 2 key senators square off, face to face, only with George. Plus, Liz Cheney and James Carville heat up a roundtable you won't want to miss. Only on This Week Sunday.
Finally, tonight, our Person of the Week. Today is Endangered Species Day, and to mark it, we found a woman who's made saving some of the world's most wild and magnificent animals the work of her life. Dan Harris traveled to the jungles of the Central African Republic to meet her.
It's such a big animal, then it does seem very, very close.
We are deep in the African jungle, just feet away from a dozing 500-pound wild silverback gorilla.
We're pretty close.
Our guide, Angelique Todd, who's a researcher with the World Wildlife Fund, and a team of pygmies here in the Central African Republic have become the first people ever to get a family of western lowland gorillas used to having human beings around.
So what did that involve for you, every day coming out here and being rejected?
Yes. Every day being screamed at or being charged and just having to take it and then just moving on. It can be really scary. I mean, they can kill you, basically.
It took 3 years of daily danger before the silverback, whose name is Makumba, stopped charging and let Angelique in.
There's his mum.
Angelique and the pygmies are constantly clucking and cooing to let the gorillas know that they're here and harmless. Normally, you can only see these gorillas in heavily wooded areas. But while we're here, they just happen to enter out into a clearing.
Oh, Mubangi.
Where we can see them in all their glory.
Here he comes.
With this rare view, you really get a sense of what a majestic beast the silverback is.
Just doesn't care that we're right here.
Wants to eat. Just eat.
This peaceful scene betrays the fact that these gorillas are actually severely endangered.
See the little one? Little one, little one.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to his mum.
Local people here kill gorillas for food.
The people's attitudes here, they're just animals. They don't see that they're sentient beings or anything like this. They just see an animal, and it's just food.
Angelique's program employs 60 locals who help her study the gorillas and bring in tourists, jobs that make them much less likely to kill these animals. Which is why she says it has been well worth the sacrifice to spend years of her life out here in the jungle with Makumba the silverback and his family.
You feel like you've got a bond with them?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
You're like the gorilla whisperer.
You see that? You make huge sacrifices in your personal life to stay here and be with these gorillas, but once you go down that direction, it's sometimes difficult to turn back. But I'll certainly, while Makumba's around, I'll still be around.
And so we choose Angelique Todd. She has made sacrifices. 15 years ago, Angelique was attacked by a chimpanzee, lost her right thumb and index finger. That didn't stop her. And many gorillas are alive today because she's awfully tough to scare. That is World News for this Friday. I'm George Stephanopoulos. I'll see you Sunday on This Week. Until then, for Charlie Gibson and all of us at ABC News, have a great weekend.
These are very challenging times for the country, and people want you to understand their story. And that's why there's no substitute for getting out and hearing from people directly. When the stakes are high, you've got to be there and see it with your own eyes.
ABC's World News with Charles Gibson, cutting through the noise, getting to what really matters.
These are not easy times, but what endures is the American spirit.
Tonight, a young girl disappears running for the ice cream truck. In one neighborhood, over 20 potential suspects. Who did it? Where is she? And with the case still wide open, why would an empty coffin be buried? Tonight, the real drama's on 2020.
Will raising taxes on Oregon businesses and the wealthiest Oregonians help pull Oregon out of this recession? Or will it do just the opposite?
A high school in shock as 2 teens are involved in a deadly crash. What we've learned in just the last hour. The building's been spared, so K2 asks, what now for Memorial Coliseum?
Live at 6, this is K2 News on your side.
And good evening. Thank you very much for being with us. And first on to our new economy.
We have new numbers showing Oregon is facing a big budget gap. We have team coverage, including Melika Johnson, on whether taxes can help make up some of that money. But we begin with Brian Wood and the governor's plan to create jobs. Brian?
Yeah, Deb, the current unemployment rate in Oregon is 12.1%. So today, the governor announced the Emergency Jobs Program. It's similar to the